So today I sit before this camera and talk into this microphone to you. And I'm doing this as a human being, right? First and foremost, I am a human being. I'm an atheist. I don't believe in any gods. I'm a Taoist. I look into myself. And I'm a philosophical Buddhist. And I, for the life of me, wish Christians would just see me as a human being instead of go out of their way to dehumanize me or to dehumanize anyone just because they don't believe in a God. These people will pretend to understand an experience that they've never experienced. They will deem to be the scholar with all of the solutions as they try to put me down into the gutters they wish me to rest. So today on Knock TV and moving forward on Knock TV, we'll be taking a look at this. What is up, you beautiful, beautiful people? Welcome back to Knock TV. Moving forward, as I said, I'm going to start looking at different ways theists go out of their way to dehumanize godless people, and not just godless people, but dehumanize minorities that they think their Bible tells them they need to discriminate against. And that's going to be a theme on this channel. That's going to be something that I'm looking at. And today we're going to start with somebody I've never met before, although I do know her husband. Her husband is Jamie Russell. I know him by another name. I see pictures of these people all the time. Supposedly, Jamie assumes like I must know his wife. I've never heard her before. This is the first time I've ever seen her on any stream. And today we're going to take a look at how this person that I know's wife is going to go out of her way to try to dehumanize atheists and the atheist movement.
You were a new atheist, really?
A little bit, kind of. I got sucked into that in the Audis when it was kind of coming out and new, and I was young and rebellious and angry at my parents.
All right, let's get something straight. Atheism wasn't new in the noughties, as she said. Atheism is something that's been around pretty much forever. I'm assuming that in the primitive of primitive days of humanity, when humans were, running around worshiping animals, that there were some humans that were like, I don't worship animals. I'm just assuming that that's probably the case. Atheists have always been around. It's nothing new. And this is going to be like her theme. And I guess this is something that she argues because SJ, whose channel this is, somebody that I've talked to several times, SJ is going to talk about how she's seen this person say these things before. That, you pretty much just need to forgive your parents and you won't be an atheist anymore. And it's just the biggest load of hogwash I've ever heard. Now, I'm sure some people come to non-belief as rebellion against overzealous parents. I'm not saying that's not a thing at all. But to sit there and try to pretend like that's like the major reason or a major reason that people are atheists is just that they're mad at their parents and they need to find forgiveness for their parents. Well, I hate to be mean about it, but it's absolute horseshit.
Oh, and you were the one in the chat who just said they need to forgive their parents.
Yeah, I do think that is a lot of it. It's a lot of unforgiveness, and they reject the Christian framework and so the idea of forgiveness is not something that they're really invested in.
I don't really know how you can pretend to know that. Like, if you have a bad interaction with an atheist online, you can't know that atheist doesn't, interact with forgiveness or doesn't have the capability to forgive anyone. That's a human emotion that most humans are probably capable of. I won't say all humans. I almost said all humans, but most humans, if not all humans, are capable of being able to forgive. It's whether or not we choose to that seems to be the problem for a lot of people. And again, this is dehumanizing tactics, right? Atheists don't forgive. Well, no, I would argue Christians don't forgive. Christians can't forgive me for the fact that I'm godless. And you have to go out of your way to dehumanize me and people like me. And that's just not really cool. In fact, it's kind of bitch made. And the fact of the matter is, atheists are very forgiving people. We have to be forgiving people if we're going to continue to interact with people that just express complete and utter disdain for us, complete and utter dismissal of us. Run away as soon as they find out that we're one of them demonic atheists.
But you can see just the destructiveness that comes about from it. And then it goes and leads people into denying God and getting really just surrounded in darkness.
No one's surrounded in darkness. And I'm sorry to tell you, like, most atheists become atheists because they actually read the Bible and realize it's nonsense. Not because of some rebellious reaction to overzealous parents. Again, I recognize that is most likely the case for quite a lot of people. But most atheists are going to tell you that they came into their atheism because they read the Bible and they just could no longer believe in it. And I think that that's probably why, for the longest time, people weren't even allowed to read the Bible unless you were some rich nobleman.
And even then, I was kind of on the outs with the atheist community. I was like a target by them because I wasn't really okay with certain things. I was against pornography and that kind of thing. So a lot of them came after me and had a lot of negative energy directed my way when I was in that world. And I knew a lot of them were evil.
I mean, whoa, evil is a strong word. Evil, I would argue, does more than dehumanize somebody. See, evil is something we need to exterminate. Evil is something that needs to be locked behind bars so it can't infect society. Atheists aren't evil because they don't believe in a God. They don't have this darkness around them, right? And, you know, this person, she's not really somebody you should trust when it comes to these matters. But we'll get there. But again, these are the dehumanizing tactics that they use. But we're expected to be nice to them and to show respect to them. But why? Why would you be nice and show respect to somebody who thinks you're evil, something to be eradicated? Why be nice and show respect to people who delusionally think that you're surrounded by darkness and that all you really need to do is forgive your parents?
I just remember seeing, like, you described the darkness around them. And I remember, like, watching videos of people at the time, and you could just see, like, there's like a dark cloud around them.
Yeah, I think so too.
Now, SJ there, she wants everybody to think that she's a scholar, but she's gonna think this nonsense about darkness around atheists and atheists are evil. I mean, do you have students that are godless, SJ? Are you gonna treat your students, your godless students, like they have darkness around them and like they are evil? Because you just said you believe so too, and it's pretty scary, I'm not gonna lie to you. But here we get our first deliberate lie by this person, Terry Strange. She is lying here, and she's gonna admit that lie here in just a few minutes.
And that's kind of what broke my atheism, because I just, I couldn't continue to gaslight myself like, oh, I'm imagining things when, things are happening all the time. And here I am, like a rational person that's responsible.
All right, so she rambles there. It's kind of hard to understand what she's saying, but she's saying that she broke her atheism, and that she's a responsible person. And I don't know how those correlate, right? Like, she broke her atheism because she felt like she was getting attacked spiritually. And she couldn't deny that she was getting attacked spiritually, so she broke her atheism because she was a responsible person. Are you a responsible person because you're no longer an atheist, or were you a responsible person then? Right? Because, like, it sounds like you were saying you were a responsible person then, so you can't be an atheist anymore. But if you were a responsible person then, when you were an atheist, I don't see the problem.
When you said you had like dark stuff, what did you see? Was it you actually physically saw something that was like a dark shadow or something, or what did you see?
Well, no, I've had a lot of weird spiritual experiences throughout my life. Seen things, but I saw, I guess at that time I was dreaming. Actually, I woke up from a dream I was having. I was walking down the sidewalk and I saw this large black figure walk past me in my dream.
Wait a minute. You said that you remember watching videos and seeing darkness around atheists and those videos. That was your claim. That's what you said. SJ asked you about that, and now it's you had a dream. Like, I hope one day Christians will learn not to believe people that lie to them. They elect Donald Trump. They believe Donald Trump. Donald Trump lies to them with every breath he takes. Like, I really hope one day Christians will stop believing people that are willing to just blatantly lie to them and don't even really care if it's found out, because who cares?
And I just had this like feeling in my like heart. I was like, you're not supposed to be here. And I ran up to it and confronted it. And then I woke up and I was being like, I don't know, I felt like something was grabbing me and like holding me, like, I don't know, fighting me, not really like holding me down, but fighting me. And it wasn't like a paralysis experience, because when I woke up, like I like leapt up.
No, you're right. Like, not a paralysis experience. You were dreaming. Like you just said that. You were dreaming. It was a dream. It was a dream. Sounds like a lucid dream, but it was a dream. It was a dream. I mean, I cannot tell you how many times I have said that it was a dream. Because Christians, for some reason, I'm not going to say the word I was thinking, but Christians, for some reason, like, think that their dreams are real. But they're not. They're dreams.
It's the strangest thing. I was on my back, but I leapt up and was like, in this really weird position. I'm trying to think how to describe it. Like, I was on my feet, like kind of crouching, and then this like black mass like moved across the room like really rapidly, and then I saw it. It was this like dark mass figure, and it had like antlers.
Like, I don't understand. Are we still in the dream? Are we not in the dream? Are you seeing this dark figure with antlers and you're awake hallucinating? I mean, I don't know why Jamie thought I should know his wife. I'm kind of glad I don't.
And Jamie, your husband says that you were a witch. Is that true? You were?
Yeah, I got sucked into the occult because I was trying to figure out how to like get the attacks to stop. So I was like looking at like banishing rituals.
Okay, Christians. I'm gonna help you out here. Maybe witches and their banishing rituals aren't the allies you think they are. like, and I understand, like, she doesn't believe that anymore. She's married to Jamie. I'm assuming she's a Seventh-day Adventist cultist just like he is, right? But, like, maybe don't use a witch to try to bring about the dehumanization of atheists. Probably not the best look for you. I mean, it would be comical if they weren't, in fact, dehumanizing human beings, trying to make them less than they are, trying to define them as evil simply because they do not believe in a God. It's absolutely disgusting.
I don't know. But yeah, it did die down once I started getting my little crystals and my tarot cards and started doing my little rituals.
And to top it all off, she sounds like she still probably practices this stuff. She sounds like she believes this stuff. Like, it didn't die down until she got her crystals and started reading her tarot. And I have to call kind of like bullshit on that. Like, that probably didn't happen. You were probably never experiencing any of this to begin with. And if you were, it was probably some mental psychosis, which hopefully you got some medication for and you got better. Like, the audacity of these people to dehumanize us, to try to make us into something evil that we're not, simply because they can't understand that we don't believe in their foolish superstitions. That we can't believe in their foolish superstitions. It's why I don't really think this person was ever an atheist. I think this person was probably always dabbling in the occult, was probably always spiritual in some way or another, probably tried to run that woo on atheists, and probably got smacked down for it. Because if you're going to try to pretend that you're something that you're not, well, people are going to pick up on that. Just ask Erica Kirk. So I want to thank you guys for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. I'm a brand new channel. I'm going to try to do this thing the right way. And I want to try to be as respectful as I can, but bold as well, and unwilling to bend. So thank you. I'll see you soon.